the wrong way. Hey all, thank you for joining me for another scenic run. Today is March 10th, 2022, Thursday. Today's run is in Newport, Rhode Island. Technically Middletown, but more people would recognize it as Newport. And we're at the Purgatory Wildlife Refuge by Sachuest Beach, or Second Beach, as it's known by the locals. This is going to be a 4-mile run. We'll be on this trail for about 2 miles. Then we'll do 2 miles on the beach, finishing off at Purgatory Chasm, which is a overlook of Second Beach, and it's also a significant place to me for reasons I'll get into at the end when we get there. Yeah, so this is the Sachuest Point National Wildlife Refuge. I don't think I've ever run this before, only walked parts of it, but I've been coming to Middletown, Newport since 2005. Every other year I would come out until my mom moved away, and all that remained in Rhode Island was my younger brother. So over here, this is I don't know, hopefully you can see it. That's the third beach area. In Newport and in Middletown, they have a couple of beaches. First beach, which the proper name is Easton's Beach. This is Flint Point. That beach we just looked at, that's Third Beach. And the one we'll be running on for about 2 miles is Sachuest Beach, which is called Second Beach. I think Third Beach is the only one that's actually called Third, or like by that name, by the number. Easton's First Beach is very popular. It's right there in Newport. Most tourists will go there. Second Beach is bigger, I would like to say less populated, but you still get a ton of overflow. You get some surfing at both of them, but second is much longer. And then third beach, it's rocky, more locals, families go there. Morning or afternoon. Morning. Gosh, it's the evening pretty much. Still on West Coast time. But I think the story goes that all this way back when used to be a landfill, and now they, you know, stopped using it as that and turned it into a wildlife refuge. From refuse to refuge. So an update from my last video, you know, I think I told you it's out here for unfortunate circumstances. Let's take a look out here first. Oh yeah, beautiful rocky shores. I love a rugged coast line. But yeah, came out here for unfortunate circumstances. Family member was in the hospital. We learned that, you know, chances of him coming out were slim, but, you know, by strength and willpower and prayer and motivation, I don't know, higher powered, whatever, they have come out of the hospital and are on their road to recovery. Still a long ways to go, but we're happy to have them with us right now and feel very fortunate. Hopefully their future is positive and they stick with the plan, and they'll be a candidate for a liver transplant going forward. But time will tell. We shall see. But that's the long-term solution. But yeah, a lot of work to get there. So, with a bit of positive news and things starting to stabilize, I'll be going back to San Diego soon. And start my running up again over there. This is only my second recording here, second run overall. interesting weather we've had, you know, from what I've heard from the locals. It's been a pretty fair winter, but we've had just downright cold days in the 20s, followed by a little bit of snow, followed by, you know, the snow freezing over and the ice. We've had some warmer days leading up to some rain. Like today, it got to like 50, I think, or close to it. A day or two before that, it was in the 20s. Since this is a one-way run, not an out and back, my father will hopefully be joining on the second half of this run, or at least we'll run into him. He might not keep up. But yeah, I told him to park at the end of the run at Purgatory and then run the opposite direction on the beach, and we'll connect. Both my parents used to run in their younger days. My dad, who I think I attribute most of my competitive slash running based goals off of, is where I got the motivation. He had done a couple of marathons throughout his life, done a number of other distances. He had a number of family members that ran, number of siblings, some that were really fast. I have successfully, you know, compared to his records, or what he has records of, I have beaten his 5K and 10K times. Maybe half marathon, or he might not have records of those. But he still has me beat by a couple minutes on the full marathon. Oh, jackrabbit. So that's something I've always aspired to taking him down on. But, you know, training for a marathon is in itself a marathon, and don't always have the time for it. Yeah, someday I'll hopefully get there. Yeah, let's go. Okay, turn here. Okay, so what we're looking at straight ahead would be Second Beach, You'll see a tower on the left side, a very gothic tower. That's St. George's Academy, like a preparatory school. And then past that is Middletown and Newport. Okay, so we've hit 2 miles. Good job, folks. Keep it going. 2 more left. All right, let's pick it up for 30 seconds. 3, 2, 1, go. All right, so we'll be on this road for a bit, and then once the rock's in, we'll get on the beach. So directly in front, you'll see some just flat grassland. That's the I think main portion of what was the landfill. I think people go up there to just walk their dogs and use it as a field. I saw some doggies up there earlier before I started. Ooh, I can smell the seaweed. one thing with Rhode Island beaches. I'm not sure if it happens in the winter time, but during the summer, and especially during our at First Beach, it gets called what is red tide, and it's a bunch of like red algae, I think is what it is. And I think it has, you know, harmful effects on the ecosystem, but I think they have tried to go through like abatement methods and have been unsuccessful. But you know, I remember going in the water once and saying, well, no big deal, going in, having a swim, coming out, and I freaking look like Swamp Thing, except I'm red instead of green. I've run this road a couple of times before, and the most recent was in 2019 when I came out to do the Newport marathon, and I think I mentioned it before. If you ever have the opportunity, I would highly recommend it. It is absolutely beautiful. And if you're not up for a full marathon, just do the half. That's arguably where the most beautiful part of the race is. It starts in First Beach. You run up towards downtown Newport, down Lower Thames Street, past Fort Adams, and then you run basically all of Ocean Drive, which is just breathtaking. Everywhere you look, beautiful house mansions on a rocky coast. It's incredible. And then you run down Bellevue by all the mansions. You do not go on the cliff walk. That would be awesome though. Come back to First Beach and end. But if you do the full marathon, then you come out here on this road, basically out to the Wildlife Refuge. Then up here at the corner, you would go out to Third Beach, out to some more like country land essentially, and then back to Easton First Beach. That was my second marathon and most recent. Did much better. I think I got like 3:38, somewhere around there. I was happy with it, but I think my dad's time is 3:35, so didn't quite make it, but so happy with it. I wish it was more popular so you'd have more people to run with. So over here on our right is a campground where people will camp basically all summer and just you know, have the campsite right across on the beach. Over this hill, the second beach. Okay, 30 seconds now. Pick it up. All right, back to a jog. Okay, so now we'll cut across to the beach. In this massive parking lot. This is where I taught my younger brother, who I'm out here for, to drive a stick shift for the first time. And he's kept up with that. I really like having the privilege of saying I taught him that. My older brother taught him how to shave. I got the next to most manly rite of passage, I guess. Okay, so second beach, here we are. On a little Jack Russell. There's my pops in the black. The guy that looks like he's speed walking. Just kidding, pops. So he doesn't run much anymore, but he could still hike like nobody else and still snowboards. He's from Colorado, so he's done all the 14ers in Colorado. If you don't know what that is, it's summiting all the mountains in Colorado that are over 14,000 feet, which I think there's like 52 of, or 58, something like that. Taught him how to, well, he was a skier for a long time, and then in college I taught him how to snowboard, and within like 2 runs he picked it up so quick, and he's never looked back. So he really taught himself. Just took a little bit of guidance. Right now he's actually wearing a Jack Quinn's running club shirt, an Irish bar. There he is. Give a wave to the camera. Whee! All right, I'll see you up at the top. There we go, both of us. That's fun. So those rocks up there, that's Purgatory. There's a crack in between the 2 rocks, and that's Purgatory Chasm. So we'll be making our way up there, ending with a nice view of Second Beach from this side. Looks like all the surfers have gone in. There are a few out when I drove in earlier. Oh, actually there's one right now. Yeah, there's a couple out there. And as you can see, St. George right up there. It's the preparatory school. Okay. So that concludes Second Beach on our final climb up to Purgatory. In the marathon, this is about mile 24, and geez Lou, it's a real pain. Even though it doesn't last long or isn't too steep, it sure takes it out of you. So, the significant part I was mentioning earlier about Purgatory, which I don't like the name, but it's a beautiful spot, and that's where we buried our dog, because it's someplace we would always take her and go walking to. And so, you know, we had that dog Topaz since my little brother was born. So they grew up together. She passed away at like, I think 13 or 12. Yeah, 12. Oh, beautiful Australian Shepherd, smart as a whip. But we buried her here, and then a few days after that, we got our Yorkshire Terrier named Opie. He's now 15, showing his age, but he still got it. So my little brother, he's never really gone more than a week without his dog. So just down there, we love you, Topaz. Miss you all the time. Right. And so here's Purgatory Chasm. And then we'll just finish off up here with a view of the water. All right, so Newport / Middletown, Rhode Island, March 10th, 2022. Four miles-ish. Until next time, keep those feet moving.